Hare Krishna Manantara. Namaste. Good morning. Shri Agni Namaha. Namaste. Shri Krishna Namaha. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Anna Pekoak. Anna Pekoak. Gedulat Yemineka. Taptil Gerura. Gabel Rinat. Ameka Sagvenu. Taharenu Nora. Na Kipol Dorilshei Ihudeka Gababat Shomodam Kasavan. Tikukun Hanefesh Ketel Hokma Bina Kasad Kevura Tefaret Netzak Od 예소드 말추 바르캄 다하람 라카메이 지드카테카 다미드 고 바르캄 다하람 라카메이 지드카테카 다미드 고물람 카신 가토시 베로브 두베카 나헬 아다테카 야키드 게에 레아메카 베네 조크레이 게두샤테카 샤바테누 까벨 우시마 자아카테누 요데아 다알루못 Namaste. Namaste. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Okay, that was about 17 minutes. So I'm gonna take a little break and then continue with Garuda Purana. Sorry about the missing sound yesterday. I'm gonna pay attention to sound from now on. That's something you have to like pay attention to. Like visual camera thing, you know, you either see your face or you don't. But with the sound, sorry, I got distracted. People, I don't like humans that much. I don't like some humans that much. And when some people say, "Oh, I hate everything," or "I hate it," it's not. I don't think they're speaking the truth. Yeah, you're gonna speak the truth, even if it feels like you hate everything. You're supposed to say, "I hate some things very, very much," to the point of death. Okay, I'm gonna take a break. Thank you. Okay, so what's going on in the world? What else is going on in the world? Top stories. Israeli cabinet to vote on Lebanon ceasefire deal after Netanyahu approves in principle, source says. Russia reportedly captures of Britain fighting for Ukraine as Russian troops advance. Barbara Bradford, Taylor Bradford, international best-selling author, dies at 91. Macy's says a county employee hit up $154 million in expenses. I just need 1% of that. Not even 1%. 0.01%. U.S. farm groups want Trump to spare their workers from deportation. Senators took down one Trump cabinet pick, but the fight over their authority is just beginning. Are Microsoft 365 and Outlook down? Thousands report outage Monday morning. It's not just them, I think. Maybe it's like a group hacking effort. Musk and Ramaswamy race to build a Dodge team for war with Washington. Transgender lawyer makes history, takes case on puberty blockers and hormone therapy to Supreme Court. Those are the 9 top stories, according to MSN. Okay, so I'm gonna do Garuda Purana. Today's chapter 5. So you guys all missed out on chapter 4, which is, I guess you guys were not meant to hear it, that's all I'm gonna say. Because when Sanskrit is spoken on the earth kind of knows that it was coming, like it has a, um, the earth knows when a Sanskrit word is to be spoken in a certain place at a certain time before it happens. Well, what would that be called? So even though there is an earthly record as according to time that at this specific time I spoke Sanskrit from here to there for 2 hours or so with the English translations, the earth has that record in the past. That's why it's called the truth that happened. If it didn't happen, I would be lying to you. But you know and Satan is supposed to be the biggest liar, and on the earth there are bigger liars than Satan. That should be a quote. On the earth there are bigger liars than Satan. Boom. A beware sign to aliens from outer space, if they exist. Anyway, forgot my point. I think my point is to use my cough medicine one more time, and then I'll get into the study. It really helps me read the Sanskrit. That's why you guys missed out, because the Sanskrit was like, even to my standards, it was mediocre enough. It wasn't bad. So I got distracted. So it throws me off when people do that, and they do that on purpose. How dare they? And they get upset when Satan punishes them. So maybe that's why the disruption, this harassment, harassment happened, because something in me foresaw something was coming. It's not even intuition. Intuition is something done consciously. Maybe not. Maybe I think it includes both conscious and unconscious. My scenario of predicting myself that I was gonna go through something so that I would have to do something to prevent it happened unconsciously. And I use it one more time because that's what medicine is for. It's not for anything else. Sorry for the long break. So my point is that there's no record of digital record of me speaking, reciting Garuda Purana chapter 4 in Sanskrit, which is a shame. Well, I've done it. I've read this 3 times now, so there are 3 other records, but this was the best one so far. So next time around will be like 2 weeks from now. Let's say about 3 weeks from now, 28 days from now or something like that, because each chapter, there are 17 chapters in Garuda Purana, and I take 1 day off. I don't read Sanskrit on Saturdays. I don't recite Sanskrit. I speak Sanskrit on Saturdays. I don't recite Sanskrit on Saturdays. And yeah, I don't take another day off, do I? No, I don't take another day off. So yeah, about 20 days from now, I think I'll do Garuda Purana chapter 4, which is epic. Okay, I'm done taking a break. Sorry and thank you. I'm just doing this for my survival. I'm not trying. No, it's looking like I'm trying to teach people. I tried it before and I quit. And then I was on just a survival stage and not getting motivated. I'm seeming to be phasing out of that stage. It's rather temporary. Alright, that's enough break, I think. Alright, chapter 5 is also another epic chapter. And sound test. Alright, everything's good. Namaste. Ata panchamotyāyaha Garuda uvaca Yena ja pa pena Yadyacha jihunam Prajayate Yam yoni ja gachananti Taname kataya keshava Shri Bhagavan uvaca Yaiha pa pairyananti Yam yonim pa pino naraka gataha Yena pa pena yachachihunam Jayate mama tachachurano Brahmaha Goshayarogi Siad Goknaha Siat Kubujako Jadoha Gania Kati Pabet Goshetui Drayachran Jananda La Yonishu Drayash Jananda La Yonishu Sutri Kati Kalpapati Ja Bolinando Rogabanan Pavet Agamia Gamana Deshanan Tuo Agamia Gamana Deshanan Tuo Dushichaima Gurutale Bagaha Mam Sapokutan Tirakutan Ngaha Mam Sapokutan Tirakutan Ngaha Shya Badanan Dasutu Madhyapaha Apakushoya Pakushako Laulia de Brahmanoha Siana Mahodaraha Adatavan Mishita Mashinati San Pavedagala Garundaban Shira de Tenamashuji Tatavan Chitra Kushtui Prajayatem Guru Gaibeno Bamana Dapa Basmari sorry Guru Gaibe no Bamana Da Basmari Pabenen Naraha Ninandako Vedasha Satranam Panandurogi Paved Turuvamu Gudasa Kushri Pavanamu Kaha Kanaha Siata Pampati Padakaha Siata Pampati Padakaha Anushataha Siata Vijan Hakano Siata Vijan Hakano Siata Vivan Hakano Janamanantaha Pusatakam Haret 고브라흐마노 바다 카타트 칸자흐 밤구실장 짜야테 다드가도 누르다바디 시아드 따츠르 추로트 추로땅 시아드 따츠 추로땅 마티로 파베트. We're gonna wear my cape so I could do this better. Whatever makes it better. Okay. It should be better. 까라다흐 시아즈 자도는 마트다흐 카르바 도그니 브라다 야카흐 카르바 도그니 브라다 야카흐 둘파가흐 빨리 비그레땅 로가바는 바라맘 사푸크 히나자따오 브라자예땀 라트나나 마파하라카흐 구나키 스발너 할땅 시아드 트라투마트라 하로타나흐. Need to look this up. Verse 11. Alright, there are two different versions. I'm gonna say both of them. 시아드 트라투마트라 하로타나흐 시아드 타투마트라 하로타나흐. 아는나 할땅 바베다 쿠흐 샤나포 타니아하라카흐 자따코 잘라할땅 시아드 베샤할땅 자부르 슈짓가흐 샤감 파트람 시키 흐르뜨바 가는 탐 추는 다리 슈파는 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 마투 담샤흐 발람 그루트로 라바놈 짱 비빌리간 담은 보라 팔라 보시바디 할땅 시아드바나로 바네 우바나 뜨뜨르너 깔바 사할땅 우바나 뜨뜨르너 깔바 사할땅 우바나 뜨뜨르너 깔바 사할땅 시아는 메셔 요니슈 야시짱 라우드로 빠지비자 말게 살타는 빌루문 빠띠 무르가야 비아사니 야스투 차가흐 시아드 바티카 그르헤 Sien de batika guruhe. Yo muruto bishopanena gurushono salpo paved girao. Paved girao. Niramko shaba pabahe siadu kumjaro. Niljane manem. Vaisheva deva makaltarahe. 살바 바꾸쇼 실장 살바 바꾸쇼 실장 예 드비장 아빠리 구시땅 보그땅로 아빠리 구시따 보그땅로 비아크라흐 시울 니잘네 닐자네 시울 닐자네 바네 시울 닐자네 바네 가야트림 나 스마레 디아수투 요나 삼티아 무파 사테 삼티아 무파 사테 아는 딸도시 두어 바히흐 사투흐 사 파베드 브라흐마누어 바카흐 아야 지아야 자코 비프라흐 사 파베드 그라마수 까라흐 파베드 그라마수 까라흐 카로 바이 바후야 지트바드 까고 밀마는드라 포자나트 바트레 비디야 마다다 자 발리발도 파베드 비자흐 구루세바 마칼땅 짱 시슈여흐 시아드 고카라흐 바슈흐 구름 후무크르티야 두무크르티야 비프람 늘지티야 바다타흐 아라누예 닐잘레 데셰 자야테 브라흐마라 고셔사흐 미트라 슈루탐 드비제 다나마 다나마다트바 다나마다트바 자문보코 파베트 자문보코 파베트 사타마 사트카라 사타마 사트카라 까라흐 파트카 로그니 무코 파베트 메트라 투르그 기리 그르트라흐 메트라 투르그 기리 그르트라흐 시아둘라 시아둘루 까흐 그라야 반짜나트 발노마시라마 파리바다트 카파토 카포토 발노마시라마 파리바다트 카포토 자야테 파네 샤츠 체다카로 야수투 스네하츠 체다카라수투 스네하츠 체다카라수투 스네하츠 체다카라수투 야흐 요 드베쇼 드스트리 파리티아기 자크라바 까시치람 자크라바 까시치람 파베트 마트르 베트르 구르드베쇼이 바기니 프라트르 바이라 그르트 갈페 요나오 니나시트흐 시아디아 바디오 니사하스라샤흐 시바슈롤갈리 브라다 시바슈롤갈리 브라다 나리 니티암 칼라하카리 누이 사 잘라우카 자 유카 시아드 팔타람 팔트살때 팔트사때 자야 스바파팀 자 파리디아지아 파라폼사 노발티니 바르구리 그러하고타 시아드 드비무키 바타 잘 살피누이 야흐 스바고트로 바카티 자 스바고트라스트리 니슈에바노트 스바고트라스트리 니슈에바터노트 스바고트라스트리 니슈에바노트 따라쿠슈허 샤를로코 라코 따라쿠슈허 샤를라코 one more 따라쿠슈허 샤를라코 부트반 와쿠샤요니슈 장야테 다마시 가마나트 까미 파베는 마루피샤 자카흐 아프라프타요바 야오바나 I want to say it again actually. It's really short. 55, 57 verses. I'm halfway there. Almost halfway. Oh, halfway there. 다마시 가마나트 까미 파베는 마루피샤 자카흐 아프라프타요 야오바나 상은가드 프라베다 자가로 아프라프타 야오바나 상은가드 프라베다 자가로 아프라프타 야오바나 상은가드 프라베다 자가로 프라베다 자가로 아프라프타 야오바나 상은가드 프라베다 자가로 바네 구르다라 필리슈이 자 그르칼라소 파베는 나라흐 라지님 카트바 파베드 두슈토 메트라파트님 자 갈타파흐 구다고 빌드바라 하흐 시아드 보르셔흐 빌드바라 시아드 보르셔흐 No, it's two words 셔시아드 보르셔리 바티흐 셔시아드 보르셔리 바티흐 마하가미 파베디아스투 시아다시바흐 가마라문 바트흐 무르타시아이까 다샤함투 분자나흐 시바 피자야테 라페데발라코 비프로 요님 쿠쿠부터 삼진야감 드라비알탐 데바타 부잠 야흐 까로티 드비자 타마흐 사바이 데발라코 나마 하비아카비에슈 가히타흐 마하바타자는 코라는 나라가는 프라피아 마하바타카자는 코라는 나라가는 프라피아 다루너는 깔마크쇼에 프라자야는데 마하바티키 I wanna say the verse again and shloka 마하바타카자는 코라는 나라가는 프라피아 다루너는 깔마크쇼에 프라자야는데 마하바타키 나스트비하 카로슈트러마 히슈이놈 히 브라흐마하 요니무르츠 차티 부르카시바나 슈르갈라남 수라바 야는티 요니슈 구르미키 떠바땅은 가트밤 스발너스테이 사마브누야트 드르너구를 말라라 따트 반짱 뜨르너 구를 말랐다 뜨르너 구를 말랐다 뜨반짱 그라마쇼 구루따를 바가흐 파라시안 요슈이땀 흐르뜨반 시아사 파헤라 누에나 시아사 파하라 누에나 짱 브라흐마스바 하라 노 쯔짜이바 브라흐마스바라 노 스바라 노 브라흐마스바 하라 브라흐마스바 하라 노 쯔짜이바 짱야테 브라흐마라 구쇼사흐 브라흐마스밤 브라노야드 푸크담 다하티야 사부담암 굴라무 팔라트 까로 까레노 팔라트 까레노 자우리에노 다하티야 자는드라 따라까무 로하줄 너 시마줄 노에 로하줄 너 시마줄 노에 짜 비샴 짜 자라예는 나라 자라예는 나라흐 브라흐마스밤 드리슈 로케슈 까흐 부만자리 이시어티 부만자라 이시어티 sorry 브라흐마스바라사 부시더니 바하나니 발라니 짱 유트타카레 비시리아는 때 까이탓 사이카타흐 사타보 야타 데바드라비오 파 포게나 데바드라비오 파 포게나 브라흐마스바 하르네 누에나 브라흐마스바 하라 누에나 짜 굴라니아 굴라탐 야는티 브라흐마노 티크라메노 짜 스바마 시리탐 파리티아지아 베다샤스트라 파라야노무 아니에피오 디아테 다남 까티아테 야마티크라마흐 까티아테 야마티크라마흐 브라흐마노 티크라모 나스티 비프레 베다비 발지테 즈발람 따마그니 무트스르지야 즈발람 따마그니 무트스르지야 뭐뭐 즈발람 따마그니 즈발람 따마그니 무트스르지야 나히 파스마니 후야테 아티크라메 그르테 다이쿠슈 푸트바 부크트바 자 나라카는 크라마트 자는 많은 다흐 사는 다리드라흐 시아는 나 다다 김투 야 자카흐 스바다트담 파라다트담 바 요레츠짱 사투는 타라무 바수는 타라무 sorry 셔실두이 발셔셔 사하스라누이 셔실두이 발셔셔 셔실두이 발셔셔 사하스라누이 비실터얌 자야테 그르미흐 자야테 그르미흐 셔실두이 발셔셔 셔실두이 발셔셔 사하스라 셔실두이 발셔셔 셔실두이 발셔서 셔실두이 발셔셔 사하스라누이 비실터얌 자야테 그르미흐 스바야메바 짱요 따뜻트바 스바야메바 바카셔티 사바비 나라감 야티 야바다 푸타 삼플라바무 따뜻트바 부르트팀 부미다남 부미다남 야트나타흐 파리발라야트 나 라쿠셔티 하레디아스투 살파구허 시바 비자야템 비프라시앙 브르트티카라노에 라쿠셔테누 팔람 파베트 비프라시앙 브르트티하라노는 마그카타 까뚜흐 브르트티하라노는 말까뚜흐 시바 까필 파베트 에바마디니 지흐나니 요나야시짱 카게시바라 스바칼마 비히땅 노케 드르시아는 따트라 샤리리너무 에밤 두시칼마 깔따로 두시칼마 깔따로 부크트바 니라야야 따나무 자야는데 빠빠셰슈에노 브로크타 스베타수 요니슈 따또 자는마사하스레슈 브라피아 디리아크 샤리리타무 두하카니 파라바하노드 파바디니 나파는 띠때 바쿠슈이두 허캄 따또 푸크트반 브르슈투이시 따보드 파바무 마누샴 라파테 바시짜트 사미 푸테 슈페 스트리 뿜소스투 브라삼게나 푸트바 갈페 그라마다사오 갈파디 마라노는 땀짜 브라비아 두허캄 무리야는 무리야트 뿌나흐 사무트 빠트틸 비나 샤시짱 장야테 살바데히나무 에밤 브라발티땀 짜끄람 푸따그람에 짜툴비테 카뚜이야는 뜨람 야타 말띠야 프라마는띠 마야야 부메오 까다지는 나라께 갈마빠 샤 사마 브르타흐 갈마빠 샤 사마 브르타흐 아따뜨따다나 쯔짜 파베드 다리드로 다리드라 파바 쯔짜 까로티 빠빠무 빠빠브라 파바는 나라감 브라야티 보날다리드라흐 보나레바 빠비 아바시아메바 포크타비암 그르탐 깔마 슈파무 나 푸크탐 구슈이야테 깔마 까르파 꽃두이 샤타이라피 이티 श्री गरुड़ पुराणों सारोद्धारे पापचिह्न निरूपणम नाम पंचमोध्यायः Okay, I'll read the translation and then take a break. The reading was okay. I was being interrupted more than usual. I talked a lot about it, but there's no sound, so what are you gonna do? So it's chapter 5. Chapter 5, on account of the signs of sins. Garuda said, "Tell me, O Keshava, by what sins particular signs are produced, and to what sorts of birth such sins lead?" The Blessed Lord said, "The sins on account of which the sinful returning from hell come to particular births, and the signs produced by particular sins, these hear from me. The murderer of a Brahman becomes consumptive, the killer of a cow becomes humpbacked and imbecile, the murderer of a virgin becomes leprous, all three born as outcasts. The slayer of a woman and the destroyer of embryos becomes a savage full of diseases, who commits illicit intercourse a eunuch, who goes with his teacher's wife disease-skinned. The eater of flesh becomes very red, the drinker of intoxicants one with discolored teeth. The Brahman who, on account of greed, eats what should not be eaten becomes big-bellied. He who eats sweet foods without giving to others becomes swollen-necked, who gives impure food at a Shraddha ceremony is born a spotted leper. The man who, through pride, insults his teacher becomes an epileptic, who despises the Vedas and the Shastras certainly becomes jaundiced. Who bears false witness becomes dumb, who breaks the meal roll becomes one-eyed, who interferes with marriage becomes lipless, who steals a book is born blind, who strikes a cow or a Brahman with his foot is born lame and deformed, who speaks lies becomes a stammerer, and who listens to them becomes deaf. A poisoner becomes insane, an incendiary becomes bald, who sells flesh becomes unlucky, who eats flesh of other beings becomes diseased. Who steals jewels is born in a low caste, who steals gold gets diseased nails, who steals any metal becomes poverty-stricken, who steals food becomes a rat, who steals grain becomes a locust, who steals water becomes a jataka bird, and who steals poison a scorpion. Who steals vegetables and leaves becomes a peacock, perfumes a muskrat, honey a gadfly, flesh a vulture, and salt an ant. Who steals beetle, fruits and flowers becomes a forest monkey, who steals shoes, grass and cotton are born from sheep's wombs. Who lives by violence, who robs caravans on the road, and who is fond of hunting, certainly becomes a goat in a butcher's house, who dies by drinking poison becomes a black serpent on a mountain, whose nature is unrestrained becomes an elephant in a desolate forest. Those twice born who do not make offering to the world deities, and who eat all foods without consideration, become tigers in a desolate forest. The Brahmin, who does not recite the Gayatri, who does not meditate at twilight, who is immorally wicked while outwardly pious, becomes a crane. The Brahmin, who officiates for one unfit to perform sacrifice, becomes a village hog, and by too many sacrifices he becomes an ass. By eating without grace, a crow. The twice-born who does not impart learning to the deserving becomes a bull. The pupil who does not serve his teacher becomes an animal, an ass, or a cow. Who threatens and spits at his teacher or browbeats a Brahman is born as a Brahman fiend in a waterless wilderness. Who does not give to a twice-born according to his promise becomes a jackal. Who is not hospitable to the good becomes a howling fireface. Who deceives a friend becomes a mountain vulture, who cheats in selling an owl, who speaks ill of caste and order is born a pigeon in a wood. Who destroys hopes and who destroys affection, who through dislike abandons his wife becomes a ruddy goose for a long time. Who hates mother, father, and teacher, who quarrels with sister and brother, is destroyed when an embryo in the womb, even for 1,000 birds. The woman who abuses her mother-in-law and father-in-law and causes constant quarrels becomes a leech, and she who scolds her husband becomes a louse. Who, abandoning her own husband, runs after another man becomes a flying fox, a house lizard, or a kind of female serpent. He who cuts off his lineage by embracing a woman of his own family, having become a hyena or a porcupine, is born from the womb of a bear. The lustful man who goes with a female ascetic becomes a desert fiend. Who consorts with an immature girl becomes a huge snake in a wood, Who covets his teacher's wife becomes a chameleon. Who goes with the king's wife becomes corrupt, and with his friend's wife a donkey. Who commits unnatural vice becomes a village pig. Who consorts with a Shudra woman becomes a bull. Who is passionate becomes a lustful horse. Who feeds upon the 11th day offerings to the dead is born a dog. The Devalaka is born from the womb of a hen. The wretch among twice born who worships the deities for the sake of wealth is called the Devalaka, and is unfit to offer oblations to the deities and forefathers. Those who are very sinful, having passed through dreadful hells produced by their great sins, are born here upon the exhaustion of their karma. The murderer of a Brahman goes into the womb of an ass, a camel, and a sheep buffalo. The drinker of intoxicants enters the wombs of a wolf, a dog, and a jackal. The stealer of gold attains the condition of a worm, an insect, and a bird. Who goes with his teacher's wife goes to the condition of grass, bushes, and plants. Who steals another's wife, who misappropriates deposits, who robs a Brahmin, is born as a Brahmin fiend. The Brahmin's possessions acquired by deception, enjoyed even in friendship, afflict the family even for 7 generations, and by forcible robbery even as long as the moon and stars exist. A man may digest even iron filings, powdered stone, and poison, but where is the person in the 3 worlds who can digest the Brahmin's wealth? Chariots and troops supported by the wealth of a Brahmin crumble away in battle like artificial river banks of sand. By appropriating temple property, by taking a Brahmin's possessions, and by neglecting Brahmin's families become broken up. He is called a neglector who, instead of making a gift to one who is well read in the Vedas and Shastras and has resorted to him, gives it to some other. But it is no neglect if the Brahmin is without Veda knowledge. It will be like offering to ashes instead of to the blazing fire nearby. Having neglected Otargushya and having experienced the results in the successive hells, he is born blind and in poverty, becoming not a giver but a beggar. Who takes away a plot of land was given by himself to another, is born for 60,000 years as a worm in excrement. The sinner who takes back by force what has been given by himself goes into hell until the coming of the deluge. Having given the means of subsistence and a piece of land, he should then protect it firmly. Who does not protect but robs is born as a lame dog. Who gives the means of support to Brahmins obtains fruit equal to that of a lac of cows. Who robs Brahmins of their means of support becomes an ape, a dog, and a monkey. These and other signs and birds, O Lord of birds, are seen to be the karma of the embodied made by themselves in this world. Thus the makers of bad karma, having experienced the tortures of hell, are born with the residues of their sins in these stated forms. Then, obtaining for thousands of lives the bodies of animals, they suffer from carrying burdens and other miseries. Having experienced as a bird the misery of cold, rain, and heat, he afterwards reaches the human state, when the good and evil are balanced. Man and woman having come together, he becomes an embryo in due course. Having suffered the miseries from conception onwards to death, he again dies. Birth and death are the lot of all embodied beings. Thus turns the wheel in the 4 kingdoms of beings. As the wheel of time turns, so mortals revolve by my magic. They revolve at one time of earth and another in hell, held fast by the noose of karma. He who does not make gifts becomes poverty-stricken, and through poverty he commits sin. By the force of sin he goes to hell, and is again born in poverty and again becomes sinful. Karma which has been made, whether good or evil, must inevitably be suffered. Karma not suffered does not fade away, even in tens of millions of ages. Okay, I'm gonna take a little break. Okay, the chapter is really long. I'm gonna read Raghaveda, but not yet. I'm gonna take a little more break. I can't wait till I heal. Morning, you know how. Let me see. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Sanskrit is the computer programming language for this reality. And the title of this video is Mind Programming, Hypnosis, and Exorcism. Those things are easy. You could, supposedly you could build reality with Sanskrit. So, and it's the closest language, according to some studies, to your DNA. So it's the most natural language to living creatures. And that might just be an understatement. Okay, here we go. Bhagavad chapter 162 of book 1. Oops. Wrong window. Namaste. Ma no mitro paruno ariama yorinandra rapokusho marutaha pari kiana yadabajino devaja tasya sabateha prabakushoyo mo vidate virianui yananil nuijan rakunosa pravurutasya ratim gurupitam mukhato nayananti suprangangjo ajo suprangangjo yemyad vishivarupa. I want to look this up actually. Oops. Okay, the power just went out. I'm gonna go and check. The recording is still on, which is good, but I gotta check the power. So I'll be right back, folks. Okay, so once again, the power just went out. I'm gonna take the camera so I could see what's going on there, because I don't have a what am I calling it? I don't have a flashlight. So I'll be back. I'm still here. I'll just say I'm taking a break for now. Okay, everything's okay now. I'm gonna put the camera back on. I'll read it from the beginning again. I have to use the restroom now. Got excited. Okay. Let's switch to the scene here. So I'll be right back. The internet is still down. Take a couple of minutes, but I'm still recording this, which is a really good thing. And maybe I'll take this time to advertise myself. Okay, so I'm gonna use the restroom really quick and then I'll be right back. so many things are happening. So the 8-year-old criminal once again turned off the electricity, and that's for the third time. And it affected the internet here today. So I don't know how things are gonna turn out, but nevertheless, this is my lot in life. I have to accept that. This is my life. I have to take some sort of a responsibility for having this life. We'll see what happens. Okay, so back to Bhagavad. I'm gonna read it from the beginning again because otherwise it doesn't seem right. Am I still taking a break? Maybe. Or you know what? I'll just continue from where I left off. It's a good thing about Sanskrit is it doesn't get lost too fast. I wanted to look at 162. That's when the electricity. Wow. No, jo, no, ojo. Huh. Jo, no, jo. Suprang, ojo, suprang, ojo. Huh. Okay. So there's in Sanskrit. It's rarely used. Alright. Done taking a break. So I'll start from here where I don't know if you guys can see it. Suprang ojo Memiad Vishivarupa Inandra Pushunoha Puriyamapieti Patahu Esho Jitagahu Puro Ashivena Vajina Pushino Pago Niyate Vishiva Deviyahu Happy Puriyam Yatapurolo Shamal Patan Yatapurolo Shamal Batan 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 Tuvashitua Saoshra Basaya Jinambati Yadata Vishuya Muratusho Yadata Vishuya Muratusho Devayanam Tirilmanusho Pariyashavam Nayananti Atra Pushinaha Pratamo Paga Eti Yajinyam Devapyaha Prativedayana Najaha Ota Tuvariyu Ravaya Ota Tuvariyu Raya Ota Tuvariyu Ravaya Agni Minento Grava Grapa 우땅 샴스땅 수비뿌라흐 때나 야지네나 스바람 그릇때나 스비시두에나 바쿠쇼노 부르노트바무 유바브라스강 우땅 예 유바바하 시장 슈람 유바바하 시장 슈람 예 아시바 유바야 다쿠샤티 예 짤바테 빠짜남 삼은 바라는 디유토 대셔마 피굴 딜나 대셔마 피굴 딜나 이는 바투 우파 프라가 뜨수마는 메타이 마는마 데바나마샤 우파 비타뿌르셔터흐 아는 베남 비프라 로셔요 마다는티 데바남 보실도에 자끄르마 수반은투무 야드바지노 다마 삼다나마이바토 양 실쇼누여 라샤나 야주주라시아 야드바 카시아 브라프르타마시에 드르넘 살바 따테 아피 데베시바스투 야다시바시아 그라비슈오 마쿠슈이카샤 야드바 스바라우 스바티타우 리프타마스티 야드타스타요흐 샤미투리아는 나케슈 살바 따테 아피 데베시바스투 야두바티아마다 무다라시아 바바티 야두바티아 마티아 무다라 야두바티아 무다라시아 바바티 야 아마시아 그라비쇼 가는토 아스티 수크르땅 따츠차미땅라흐 그르는 바는 뚜우따 맥메탐 슈르따빠감 빠짜는 뚜 야뜨때 가뜨라다그니나 빠찌아마나 다피 슈람 니하타시아 바타바티 마 따드푸 미야마 시리셔는마 뜨르누에슈 데베피아스타 두샤드피오 라타마스투 예 바지남 파리파시아는티 빠크밤 야 이마후흐 수라필니하레티 예 짱발짱바토 맘사피쿠셔 무파사타 우토 데셔마필쿨 딜나 이는 바투 야는니 쿠셔남 마무 스바짜느니야 우카야 야 바트라누이 유슈노 아세짜나니 우슈마누여 비타나 바루너 망은가흐 수나흐 파리 부션은 디아시바무 니크라마넘 니쇼다남 니발타남 야쯔짱 바드비자 샤말바타흐 샤드비 샤말바타흐 야쯔짱 빠빠우 야쯔짱 카심 자카사 살바 따테 아피 데베시바스투 마 드바그닐 트바나 이드 투마 두가는 딜 모카 It's really long. 드바그닐 트바나 이드 투마기는 가는 딜 모카 모카 드바그닐 트바나 이드 투 드바그닐 트바나 이투 드바그닐 드바그닐 트바나 이드 투 드바그닐 트바나 이드 투 마가는 딜 모카 드바그닐 트바나 이드 투마 드바그닐 트바나 이드 투 가는 딜 모카 드바그닐 큰 트나 드바그닐 트바나 이드 투 가는 티 모카 드바그닐 트바나 이드 투 마가는 딜 모카 드바그닐 트바나 이드 투 가는 딜 모카 드바그닐 트바나 이드 투마 드바그닐 트바나 이드 투마 가는 딜 모카 프라자는 띠아피 프라자는 띠아피 비그땅 아크리흐 자크리흐 이실담 비타마피 굴담 비셔트 그르담 땀 데바사흐 브라티 그르푸너는 띠아시바무 그르푸너는 띠아시바무 야다시바야 바사 우파스트르 너는 띠아티바삼 우파스트르 너는 띠아티바삼 야 히라누연이아스마이 삼다나 말 받는 땀 삼다나 말 받는 땀 바드비샴 뿌리야 데베시바 야마야는띠 야뜨때 사데 마하사 슈그르타시아 바슈누여 바샤야 뚜토다 슈루체바타 하비슈오 아트바레슈 살바타 데 브라흐마노 수다야미 the power just went out again. Now I have to go up there again with the phone. Sorry about all this. Everything is being recorded and it'll be online soon. Alright, so I'll be back. Thank you. Okay, I'm back. So the 80-year-old criminal did this twice now, on the same day. That's pretty new. I'm recording all this. I'm gonna put the camera back on. I have a theory that it might go out the third time. He's gonna do this again. I hope, I'm gonna pray quickly now. Dear God, I pray that you overthrow whatever he's gonna do. And just let the power not go out again the third time, please God. And let me just finish what I'm doing. There's a lot of evil forces trying to stop me, and that criminal is a real factor now. So I pray that you get rid of him somehow. You overthrow his plans and just do something so that he's being punished for what he's doing. Please, I ask you in your son King Yahusha's name. So please help me. Namaste. Okay, so I'm gonna keep reading it, I guess. 자투스트림 샤드바지노 자투스트림 샤드바지노 대바바는 돌방방은 끄리라 슈바시야 대바바는 돌방은 끄리다 라 슈바시야 대바바는 돌방은 끄리라 슈바시야 대바바는 돌방은 끄리라 대바바는 돌방은 끄리라 슈바시야 스바티티흐 스바티티흐 사메티 아츠치드라 가드라 바유나 꾸르노타 바루슈 바루바 바루라 누크르시오 바루슈 바루라 누크르시오 바루슈 바루라 누크르시오 슈 바루슈 바루라 누크르시오 바루슈 바루라 누크슈어 바루슈 바루라 누크슈어 슈여 바루슈 바루라 누크슈여 비 샤스탄 에카스트 바시투어라 슈바시안 에카스트 바시투라 슈바시안 비샤스탄 드반 야는따라 파바타스타탄 라투흐 야, 때, 가드라노, 모르투타, 그르노미, 따, 베른도남, 브라, 주호미야그네오, 마, 드바, 따파트 뿌리야, 아, 드마, 비야는 땀, 마, 스바디티스 따는 바, 아, 데슈터바드데 마데 그르투루라 비샤스타 디하야 그르투루라 비샤스타 디하야 치드라 가드라 노여시나 미투 까흐 나 바우 에따는 무리야세 나 리시어시 데바무 이데 슈이 바티피흐 수게피흐 하리 데 윤장 Purushati Aputa Mupasatha Duvaji Turi Rasapasya Sugavyam no Paji Savashavyam Pumsaha Putram Uta Vishava Pusham Rayim Anagasatavam no Aditya Kurunotu Kushatram no Ashivo Panatam Havishamana. It was a really long Bhagavada. Slay us not Varuna, Aryaman, or Mitra, Ripukushan, Inandra, Ayu, or the Maruts. When we declare amid the congregation the virtues of the strong steed, God descended. What time they bear before the courser, covered with trappings and with wealth, the grasped oblation. The dappled goeth straight forward, bleeding to the place dear to Indra and to Bhushan. Dear to all gods, this goat, the share of Bhushan, is first led forward with the vigorous courser, while Tavashirtar sends him forward with the charger, acceptable for sacrifice to glory. When thrice the men lead round the steed in order, who goeth to the gods as meat oblation, the goat precedeth him, the share of Bhushan, and to the gods the sacrifice announceth. Invoker, ministering priest, atoner, fire kindler, soma presser, sage reciter, with this well-ordered sacrifice, well finished, do ye fill full the channels of the rivers. The hewers of the post and those who carry it, and those who carve the knob to deck the horse's stake. Those who prepare the cooking vessels for the steed, may the approving help of these promote our work. Forth for the regions of the gods, the charger with his smooth back is come, my prayer attends him. In him rejoice the singers and the sages, a good friend have we won for the gods' banquet. May the fleet courser's halter and his heel ropes, the headstall and the girts and cords about him, and the grass put within his mouth to bait him, among the gods too, let all these be with thee. What part of the steed's flesh the fly hath eaten, or is left sticking to the post or hatchet, or to the slayer's hands and nails adhereth, among the gods too, may all this be with thee. Food undigested, steaming from his belly, and any odor of raw flesh remaining. This let the immolators set in order and dress the sacrifice with perfect cooking. What from thy body, which with fire is roasted, when thou art set upon the spit distilleth, let not that lie on earth or grass neglected, but to the longing gods let all be offered. They who, observing that the horse is ready, call out and say, the smell is good, remove it. And, craving meat, await the distribution. May their approving help promote our labor. The trial fork of the flesh-cooking cauldron, the vessels out of which the broth is sprinkled, the warming pot, the covers of the dishes, hooks, carving boards, all these attend the charger. The starting place, his place of rest and rolling, the ropes wherewith the charger's feet were fastened. The water that he drank, the food he tasted, among the gods too, may all these attend thee. Let not the fire, smoke-scented, make thee crackle, nor glowing cauldron smell and break to pieces. Offered, beloved, approved and consecrated, such charger do the gods accept with favor. The robe they spread upon the horse to clothe him, the upper covering and the golden trappings. The halters which restrain the steed, the heel ropes, all these as grateful to the gods they offer. If one seated, with excessive urging hath with his heel or with his whip distrust thee, all these thy woes, as with the oblations ladle at sacrifices, would my prayer I banish. The 34 ribs of the swift charger, kin to the gods, the slayer's hatchet pierces, cuts it with skill, so that the parts he be flawless, and piece by piece declaring them dissect them. Of the Vashtar's charger there is one dissector, this is the custom, two there are who guide him. Such of his limbs as I divide in order, all these amid the balls in fire I offer. Let not thy dear soul burn thee as thou comest, let not the hatchet linger in thy body. Let not a greedy clumsy immolator, missing the joints, mangle thy limbs unduly. No, here thou diest not, thou art not injured, by easy paths unto the gods thou goest. Both bays, both spotted mares, are now thy fellows, and to the ass's pole is yoked the charger. May this steed bring us all sustaining riches, wealth in good kind, good horses, manly offspring. Freedom from sin may Aditi vouchsafe us, the steed with our oblations gain us lordship. Okay, I'm gonna go right into Yoga Sutras. It took a lot of break. So we're starting at Sutra 14 until I think I'll do this for half an hour, and then I'll do Bhagavad Gita. Namaste. Te Hulada Parita Papalah Punuya Hetutvat Te Janama Yulpogah Punuya Hetukah Sukapala Apunuya Hetukah Tuhakapala Iti Yata Jadam Tuhakam Pratikulat Makamevam Vishaya Sukhaka Lepi Tuhakamasatieva Pratikulat Makam Yoginah. These have joy or extreme anguish as results in accordance with the quality of their causes, whether merit or demerit. These, birth and length of life and kind of experience. Those with merit as cause have pleasure as result. Those with demerit as cause have pain as result. And just as the nature of this pain is counteractive, so for the yogin, even at the moment of pleasure in an object, there is nothing but counteractive pain. Let me see if I could so I'm taking a little break. Yeah, I should do that. So the live has been taken off, which is a shame. So it got cut off. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stop streaming. I'm not gonna stop recording. But right now, I'm not live right now. I'm wondering how I should do this. Alright, I guess I'll just keep going. So forget about the being live today. It'll still be up, so whoever watches it will watch it. Katam Tadupapa Diate. Tadupapa Diate. I could only assume that that's the alternative version because the one that's supposed to be here is missing. So I'll go with that. Parino mata pa samskara duho kai duho guno burata tibiro ta chicha. Parino mata pa samskara duho kai guno burata tibiro ta chicha. Parino mata pa samskara duho kai guno burata tibiro ta chicha. Duho kameba salvam bibekinahu. Salvasyayam raga nuvidata chatana satana tinaha. Raga nuvidata chatana raga nuvidata chatana satana tinaha. Sukhanu pava iti tatrasati ragajaha kalmashayaha. Tata ja tvashatui duhaka sathanani muhyati jati tvesha mohakuruto piyatsati tvesha mohakuruto piyasati kalmashayaha. Tata jogatama nanupahatya bhutani upapogaha sampavati iti himsakuruto piyasati shariraha kalmashayaha iti. Vishayasukham ja vidyo vidyat dyukatama ja vidyat dyukatama ya 포개시비는 드리야놈 드르부테루 파샤는띠 스타트 수카무 드르부테루 파샤는띠 스타트 수카무 드르부테루 파샤는띠 스타트 수카무 드르부테루 파샤는띠 스타트 수카무 야 라우리야 다누파샨 라우리야 다누파샨은띠 스타트 두허카무 다들 두허카무 라우리야 다누파샨은띠 따스뚜 티스타드 두허카무 라우리야 다누파샨은띠 스타드 두허카무 나 제넨드리야놈 보가 피아세나 바이틀셔노염 깔툼 샤키야무 가스마트 야또 보가 피아 사마누 비발타는데 라가흐 가우샬라니 제넨드리야노 미티 타스마 다누바야흐 수카시야 보가 피아사 이티 사 카르바얌 부르시지카 비쇼 피타 부르시지카 비쇼 피타 이바시 베슈에노 이바시 비슈에노 다시투어 야흐 수칼티 비쇼야누바시토 마하티 두허카방은께 니마그나 Number 1 마그나 니 마그나 이티 에쇼 파리노 마두허 카타 나마 프라티쿠라 수카 바스타야 마피 요기나메바 클리셔나티 아타까 다파두허카타 살바시야 드베셔 누비드 타시짜타나 짜타나 사타나 티나스타 파누파바 이티 타트라스티 드베셔자흐 깔마샤야흐 I'll say this again. 살바시야 드베셔 누비드 타시짜타나 짜타나 사타나 티나스타 파누파바 이티 타트라스티 드베셔자흐 깔마샤야흐 수카사타나니 자 프라타야마나흐 가야나 바자 마나사 자 Parisapannandate tataha Paramanugraha upahananti jati Paranugrah Hapidvapyam Paranugrahapidvapyam Thaima Vupachinoti Thaima Vupachinoti Sa Kaima Shayo Lopana Mohajaja Pavati Diesho Ta Patuhoka Pavati Diesho Ta Patuhokatochiate Ta Patuhokatochiate Ka Punaha Samskara Tuhokata Sukhanu Pavatu Sukha Samskara Tuhokata Sukhanu Pavatu Sukha Samskara Shayo Sukhanu Pavatu Sukha Samskara Shayo. There's number 1. Tishra Tisha. Tisha. Sukhanu Pavatu Sukha Samskara Tisha. Dukkanu Pavadapi Dukkha Samskara Shaya. Tisha. Oh, I gotta say this again. Tisha. Sukhanu Pavatu Sukha Samskara Tishayo. Dukkanu Pavadapi Dukkha Samskara Shaya. Dukkha Samskara Tishaya iti. Evam Kaimapyo Vipakenu Puyamane Sukhe Duhake Va Punaha Kaima Shaya Prachaya iti. Evamidamanadi Duakasroto Viprasratam Yoginameva Pratikula Makatva Dudubejayati Kasmat Akushripat Rakarepo Hi Vidvaniti Yatolno Tanan Durakushripatre Yatolno Tanan Durakushripatre Nyasataha Sapaishana Duakayati Nanyeshu Na Janyeshu Gatra Bayaveshu Okay. Evametani Duokan Yakushripa Tarakaripam Yoginameva Glishanananti Netaram Pratipatataram Itaram tu Svakaimopahuritam Duokamupatatamupatam Diajanantam Diakatamupadadanamanadi Pasana Vichitraya Diakatamupadadanamanadi Diakatamupadadanamanadi Pasana Vichitraya Diakatamupadadanamanadi Pasana Vichitraya Citta Borotatiam, Samanantato, Samanantato Nubiditabimi, Samanantato Nubiditamibam Vidyayam. Hatavya Eva Hamkara Mamakara Nupatinam. Eva Hamkara Mamakara Nupatinam. Jatam Pahya Tyatamiko Payani Mitita Satari Paiba no Satapa. 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 One more. Pahya Tyatamiko Payani Mitita Satari Paiba no Satapa. Anuplavanante Tadeva Manadina. Number 4. Di Tuhoka. Tadeva Manadi Tuhoka Surotasa. Tadeva Manadi Tuhoka Surotasa. Tuhoka Surotasa. Pyuhya Manamatmanam Putagramam Cha Durishatava Yogi Saivatuhoka Kushoyakaranam Samyagudarshanam Sharanam Prapadyata Iti. Gunavarati Birotha Chato Gunavarati Birotha Cha Duakameba Saivam Vivekinaha. Prakya Pravarati Sthiti Rupa. Prakya Pravarati Sthiti Rupa. Prakya Pravarati Sthiti Rupa. Buddhati Gunaha Parasapara Nugrahat Hatanantari. Parasapara Nugrahatanantari. Bhutva Shanantam Koram Mutam Pa Pratyayam Trigunamevara Panante. Trigunamevara Panante. Chalam Cha Gunapurutamiti Kushipura Parinomi. Chitatamukutamu Rupa Tishaya Purutati Atishaya Shicha Parasapareno Virutyanante Samanyani Divatishayaiha Saha Parapaitanante Evamete Guno Itaretara Shirayono Yeno Pajita Sukadu Kamo Hapratyaya. Itaretara Shirayano Pajita Sukatu Kamoha Pratyaya. Number 1. Itaretara Shirayano Pajita Sukatu Kamoha Pratyaya. Iti Salvarupa Pavananti Iti. Number 2. Pavananti Gunapratana Pavavrita Satveshum. Gunapratana Pavakrita Satveshum Vishesho Iti. Tasmad Duhakameva Saivam Vivekina Iti. Tadasya Mahato Duhaka Samudayasya Prabhava Bijamavidya. Tasya Shicha Samyak Darshanama Pava Hetuha यथा चिकित्सा शास्त्रम चतुर्व्यूहम रोगो रोगाहेतुरा रोगियाम पाइषज्यामिति एवमिदमपि शास्त्रम चतुर्व्यूहमेव तद्यथा संसारः संसारहेतुर्मोक्षो मोक्षोपाय इति एवति तत्र दुःखबहुलः संसारो हेयः प्रधानपुरुषयोः संयोगो हेयहेतुः संयोगस्य त्यनन्तिकी निवृत्तिः नाम हानोपायः सम्यक् दर्शनम् तत्र हातुः Number 2 हेतुः स्वरूपमुपादेयम् वा हेयं वा न भवितुमर्हतीति हाने तस्योच्च्छेदवादपरासङ्गङ्गा तस्योच्च्छेदवादपरासङ्गङ्गा उपादाने च हेतुवादः उभयप्रत्याख्याने शाश्वतवाद इत्येतत् सम्यक् दर्शनम्. That was really long, huh? Just crept up on me. How can this be accounted for? As being the pains which are mutations and anxieties and subliminal impressions, and by reason of the opposition of the fluctuations of the aspects, to the discriminating all is nothing but pain. For everyone, this experience of pleasure is permeated with passion and is dependent upon animate and inanimate instruments. In this case, we have a latent deposit of karma arising from passion. Likewise also hates the instruments of pain and becomes infatuated. Thus there is also a latent deposit made by aversion and by infatuation. And in this sense it has been said, enjoyment is impossible unless one has killed some living creature. Therefore there is also the latent deposit of karma effected by killing belonging to the body. Thus it has been said, undifferentiated consciousness is pleasure in an object of sense. That which is the subsistence of the organs because of their association with enjoyments is pleasure. After there has been a craving, the failure to subside is pain. And by the application of the organs to enjoyments, one cannot make oneself free from thirst. Why is this? Since passions increase because of application to enjoyments, and the skill of the organs also increases. Therefore, application to the enjoyment of pleasure is not a way of approach. Surely, one aiming at pleasure and permeated by objects is sunk in the deep bog of pain, like the man who, while in fear of the scorpion's poison, is bitten by the poisonous snake. This is the so-called painfulness of mutation. It is counteractive. Even in a condition of pleasure, it hinders the yogin himself. Now, what is the painfulness of anxiousness? Everyone has the experience of anxiousness. It is permeated by aversion and is dependent upon animate and inanimate instruments. Here we have a latent deposit of karma arising from aversion, and yearning for the instruments of pleasure throbs in the body and in speech and in the central organ. Since it then aids or thwarts others by aiding them or by injuring them, it amasses right actions and wrong actions. This latent deposit of karma is a result of greed and of infatuation. For this reason, it is called the painfulness of anxiousness. But what is the painfulness of subliminal impressions? There is a latent deposit of subliminal impressions of pleasure arising from the experience of pleasure, and there is a latent deposit of subliminal impressions of pain arising from the experience of pain. Thus, analogously, while the fruition from the karmas is under experience, there is on the other hand an accumulation of a latent deposit of karma. Thus, the stream of pain from time without beginning, spreading wider and wider, agitates even the yogin because its essence is counteractive. Why is this? It is because a wise man is like an eyeball. Just as a fine thread of wool fallen upon the eyeball by its touch gives pain, but not so when it falls upon other parts of the body, So these pains hinder the yogin only, who is like an eyeball, but not any other perceiver. But upon the other, who casts off the pain received time after time, which has been brought upon him by his own karma, and who receives the pain cast off time after time, and who is as it were permeated through and through from all sides, with fluctuating mind stuff, complicated from time without beginning, with its subconscious impressions, and who under subconscious undifferentiated consciousness conforms to the I substance and to the of me substance, with regard to those very things which are to be rejected. Upon him, born again and again, the triple anguishes from both kinds of causes, both inner and outer, sweep down. This being so, the yogin, having seen himself and the whole multitude of creatures, borne away by this stream of pain from time without beginning, seeks refuge in the focused insight, the cause of the dwindling of all pain, and by reason of the opposition of the fluctuations of the aspects, to the discriminating all is nothing but pain. The aspects of the thinking substance in the form of brightness and of activity and of inertia, having become interdependent by aid given each to the other, give rise to a presented idea either tranquil or cruel or infatuated, of just these three aspects. And because the changes of the aspects are unstable, the mind stuff is in rapid mutation. Thus we have been told. The forms to a high degree and the fluctuations to a high degree oppose each other, but the generic forms cooperate with to a high degree. Thus, since these aspects have presented ideas of pleasure and of pain and of infatuation obtained by reliance of one upon another, each has the form of each of them. But the distinction between them is due to their being either in a subordinate or in a dominant state. Therefore, to the discriminating, all is nothing but pain. So the seed out of which this huge aggregate of pain grows forth is undifferentiated consciousness, and the reason for the failure of growth in this is the focused insight. Just as a system of medicine has four divisions, disease, cause of disease, health, remedy, so this system also has four divisions, the round of rebirth, the cause of the round of rebirth, release, the way to release. Of these, the round of rebirth, with its mass of pains, is that which is to be escaped. The conjunction of the primary cause and of the self is the cause of this which is to be escaped. The final destruction is the correlation, is the escape. The final destruction of the correlation is the escape. The means of escape is focused insight. In this, he who escapes, as he is in himself, can neither be accepted nor rejected. For if there be a rejection, that would involve the doctrine of the extermination of him. And if there be an acceptance, the doctrine a cause. And by denying both, we have the doctrine, eternal. This is the focused insight. Kind of want to keep going with the sutra. That's what I'll do. Maybe I'll do one or two more. Or at least one more. Alright, maybe I'll take a little break before I do 16. So I'm not live right now. I'm just recording it because the 80-year-old criminal has decided that he'll turn off the electricity twice on the same day by short-circuiting his power, whatever you call it. Okay. 따뜻따뜻 창하서드람 자투비우 하미디아 피티 야따 야떼 자투비우 하미디아 피티 야떼 해얌 두헉하마나 가따무 두헉하마디 따누빠포가나 디바 히탐 나 해야 바쿠쇼에 발따떼 발따마남 자 스바쿠쇼 노에 스바쿠쇼 노에 포가루 터미티 나 뜻따뜻 쿠쇼 뜻따뜻 쿠쇼너는 따레 따뜻 쿠쇼너는 따레 해야따마 바디아떼 따스마 디아데바 나가탐 두헉함 따데바 쿠쇼이파 드라카레밤 요기남 글리시나티 나타람 파라티파트타람 따데바 해야따마 바디아떼 따스마 디아데바 나가 따스마 디아데바 나가탐 두헉함 따데바 쿠쇼이파 드라카레밤 요기남 글리시나티 나타람 파라티파트타람 따데바 해야따마 바디아떼. Why am I doing what I'm doing? I'm doing what I'm doing to save myself. And then go from there. The same system is set forth in its 4 divisions. That which is to be escaped is pain yet to come. Pain past, that is transferred beyond experience, cannot properly be called a thing to be escaped. And present pain in its own moment has attained experience, so it cannot at the next moment be so changed that it can be escaped. Consequently, only that pain which is yet to come is that which hinders the yogin only, who is like an eyeball, but not any other perceiver. Only this pain becomes so changed that it may be escaped. I'm not taking a break, and I forgot to show you guys the Sanskrit. Let me show you the Sanskrit. You could pause it. So I'll hold it there for 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. I've read it already. Sorry about that. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You could probably take a screenshot and play my video on top of it if you want to follow the Sanskrit. An English translation, yeah, here you go. I'll just leave it there for 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. I feel like doing one more. I don't know why. And it's missing a chunk of page. Alright, so I'll do one more and then I'll do Bhagavad Gita and call it a day. Tasma diadeva Heyamiti uchiate tasyaipa karanam pratinildishyate Durashaturudurishya yoho Durashaturudurishya yoho Samyogo heya hetuho Durashata buduteho Parati sambedi purushaho Durashya buduti sadabo buduti sadatu Buddhi satetbo parutoh Buddhi satetbo parutoh Saibe taimaho Tadetadu Durashya Tadetadu Durashya Masya Mayasikan Tamanui Karipam Tadetadu Durashya Mayasukan Tamanui Karipam Samnitimanan. What is that? 뚜로 삼니티마 뚜로 빠까리드르 시아뜨베나 삼니티마 뚜로 빠까리드르 시아뜨베나 삼니티마 뚜로 빠까리드르 시아뜨베나. There's number 1. 파 스밤 파바티 부르샤시아. Number 2. 스밤 드르시루 바시아 스바미나흐 아누파바깔마 비쇼야타마 빠는남 아누파바깔마 비쇼야타마 빠는남. Number 3. 빠는남 아니야. 아누파바깔마 비쇼야타마 빠니야남 빠는남이었다. 빠는남 아니야. 빠는남 아니었다. 빠는남 아니었다. 아누파바깔마 비쇼야타마 빠는남 아니었다. 빠는남 아니었다. 빠는남 아니었다. 아니야 스바루 베너 야타흐. 아니야 스바루 베너 니아루 아니야루 베너 프라티파는 아니야 스바루 빠프라. 프라티파는 아니야 스바루 빠프라티. 프라티파는 아니야 스바루 빠프라. 스바티 프라티파는 아니야 스바루 빠프라티파 라브타. 프라티파는 아니야 스바루 빠프라티 라브타 뜨미감. 프라티파는 아니야 스바루 빠프라티 라브타 뜨마감. 프라티파는 아니야 스바루 빠프라티 라브타 뜨마감. 프라티 라브타 뜨마감. 스바타는 드라마피. 파랄 타트바트 파라타는 드라마. 다율드르그달 샤나샤크티오라나디랄 타크르타흐. 다율드르그달 샤나샤크티오라나디. 다율드르그달 샤나샤크티오나라다라나디랄 타크르타흐. 다율드르그달 샤나샤크티오라나디랄 타크르타흐. 다율드르그달 샤나샤크티오라나디랄 타크르타흐. One more. 다율드르그달 샤나샤크티오라. 다율드르그달 샤나샤크티오라나디랄 타크르타흐. 사미오고 헤야헷둘두허카시야. 가라노미티알타흐. 타탄 쪼그따무. 타트사미오가 헤투 비발자. 나트시야. 다야마티아는티코. 타트사미오가 헤투 비발자 나트시야 다야마티아는티코. 타트사미오가 헤투 비발자 나트시야 다야마티아는티코. One more. 타트사미오가 헤투 비발자 나트티야 다야마티아는티코. 두어카프라티카라흐. 가스마트 두어카헤토흐. 파리하리아시야. 프라티카라투 달샤나트. 프라티카라 달샤나트. 타디아탄 파다탈라시야. 페디아탄 까는떠카시야. Patutruvam Pariharahu Kanuntakasya Padanatishtonam Padanatishtonam Padatrano Vyabahitena Padatrano Vyabahitena Ma Tishtonam Etakutrayam Yo Veda Loke Ma Tishtonam Etakutrayam Yo Veda Loke Sa Tatra Pratikaramara Pamano Pratikaramara Pamano Pedajam Tuhakam Na Punoti Kasmat Turitubo Turitubo Palapati Turitubo Palapati Satya Samatya Diti Turitubo Palapati Turitubo Palapati Samatya Diti Turitubo Palapati Samatya Diti. Yeah, cool. Tatra Atrapi Tapakasya Rajasaha Satatavameva Tapyam. What's that? Kasmat Tapikriyayaha Kalmasatavat Satatava Kalmanui Tapikriya Na Parinomini double check it. Na Parinomiti, two different spellings. I'm gonna go with this. Na Parinomini Nishikuriye Kushwatarajinye Tashita Vishoyatavat. Double check that. Satatave tu Tapyamane Tadakara Nuroti Purushopya Nutapyata. Number 1. Shono Purushono Tapyata Iti Turishyate Okay. Turishyasabaru Pamuchyate. Interesting. Whatever. Therefore, the cause of the same thing that is described as something to be escaped is once more specified. The correlation of the seer and the object of sight is the cause of that which is to be escaped. The seer is the self-conscious by reflection of the thinking substance. Objects of sight are all external aspects, which have struck upon the sattva of the thinking substance. So the same object of sight giving its aid like a magnet by the mere fact of being near becomes, by reason of its being an object of sight, the property of the self, its proprietor, whose nature is seeing. It becomes changed into an object upon which experience operates. Insofar it has the nature of another, having acquired being although self-dependent, by serving one not itself, dependent on one not itself. The correlation of these two, the power of seeing and the power by which one sees, is from time without beginning and is effective for the purposes. The cause of that which is to be escaped, in other words, the cause of pain. And in this sense it has also been said, by avoidance of the cause of correlation with this, the antidote for pain will be absolute. Why? Because we know the antidote to prevent the cause of pain. For example, we know that the liability to scratches inheres in the sole of the foot. The power to scratch inheres in the thorn. The prevention is either by not stepping with the foot upon the thorn, or by stepping is covered by a foot protector. Whoever understands these three has begun the antidote therefore, and is not exposed to the pain from scratches. Why? Because of his power to apperceive the threefold character. And to resume the argument, the Sattva, the castigated, comes under the ownership of Rajas, the castigator. Why? Since it stands in a passive relation to the activity of the castigator. The act of castigation affects the Sattva as a passive object, but does not affect the immutable and inactive soul, since it has objects shown to it. But if the Sattva be under castigation, the self it appears, conforming itself to the form of this, is itself castigated along with. Kind of want to do one more and then do Bhagavad Gita. It's kind of fun. It's becoming more fun. I'm starting to recognize what I've done so far. This is probably my 10th time reading it, I think. Reading Sanskrit and reading other languages are two different things. Alright, maybe one more. Alright, I kind of want to do one more. I'll go with my instinct. In that case, I should use my cough medicine just to ensure myself. Oof. Yeah, let's do one more. You meant one more hit? No comment. Drashya savaru pamuchyate eka shakriya sthiti shilam bhutanandriya tamakam bhoga pavaikaltam Drashyam prakashashilam sattvam kriyashilam rajah sthiti-shilam tama iti. I want to double check the spelling, the fuzzy spelling. Ete kunah parasparo parakata prapti pravipagah parasparo parakata pravipagah parinominah samyoga samyoga vipaga taimano samyoga vipaga taimano. Yep, okay. And then there's number 1. Paga. Samyoga vipaga taimano. Samyoga vipaga taimano. Okay, got it. Itaretaro shireyon yeno jita multayahu. Itaretaro shirayeno jita multayahu. Itaretaro shirayeno jita multayahu. Parasparang gang gitve pia. Sampi는 na shakti pravipaga tulia jatiya shakti pedanupatina. It's almost 2 lines long. It's 1.5 lines long or longer. But one word. Tulia jatiya shakti prapa bepia. Parasparang gang gitve sam Parasparang gang gitve sampi는 na. Parasparang gang gitve sampi는 na. Parasparang gang gitve sampi는. Parasparang gang gitve sampi는 na shakti pravi. Parasparang gang gitve sampi는 na shakti pravi paga tulia jatiya shakti pedanupatina. Pratana belaya mupadashita samnitana. Pratana belaya mupadashita samnitana. Gunotvepi. Pratana belaya mupadashita samnitana. Gunotvepi ja vyaparamadreno. Pratana는 달누이다 누미다 스티다흐. 부르셜 타tat 깔타비아타야. 부르셜 타깔타비아타야. 부르셜 타깔타비아타야. 브라유그타 사말티아흐. 삼니티마 드로파카리노 야스카는 타마 누이카르파흐. 삼니티마 드로파카리노 야스카는 타마 누이카르파흐. 삼니티마 드로파카리노 야스카는 타마누이카르파흐. 브라티아야 많은 따라는 레노이카 타마시야. 브라티아야 많은 따 레노이카 타마시야. 부르트티마누 발타마나흐. 브라타나 샤부다 바지야. 바바는티 에따드 드르시아 미티우지아테. 따데따드 푸테는드리야 드마감 푸타 파베나 브르티비아 디나. 수그시마스투레나 파리노마테. 따테는드리아 파베나 슈로트라디나. 수그시마스투레나 파리노마타 이티. 따뚜뚜 나 브라요자나 마피 뚜 브라요자나 무라리 그렇디야. 브라발타타 이티. 포가 바발가 알탐 히 따드르 시암 부르셔시아티. 따뜨레셔터 니셔터 구너스바루 바노 바타라노 마비파가 바는남. 따뜨레셔터 니셔터 구너스바루 바타라노 마비파가 바는남. 포고뚜허 스바루 바타라노 마발가. 스바루 바타라노 바발가. 스바루 바타라노 바발가 이티. 드바요라 티리크타 마니아드드르 달샤남. 드바요라 티리크타 마니아드 달샤남 나스티. 타타 조그타무 아얌 뚜 칼루 드리슈 구누에슈 깔뜨르 슈바 깔따리. Kalturu Shuba Kaltari Ja Purushwe Tulia Tulia Ja Diye Jatulte Tatukriya Sakushunuyu Paniyama Nanan Saiva Pavanu Papanan Nanu Pasyanan Na Dashanama Nyanan Chankata. It's a little longer than a line. Tatukriya Sakushunuyu Paniyama Nanan Saiva Pavanu Papanan Nanu Pasyanan Dashanama Panyanan Chakata. Maniache Chankata. Di da de kuriya sakushunuyu paniyama nanan saiva pavanu papanana nanu pasyanan natashana matnyanche chankata. Tatu kuriya sakushunuyu paniyama nanan saiva pavanu papanana nanu pasyanan natashana matnyanche chankata. Tatukriya sakushunuyu paniya Tatukriya sakushunuyu paniya Mananan saiva pavanu papanana nanu pasyanan natashana matnyanche chankata. Tatukriya sakushunuyu paniya Mananan saiva pavanu papanana nanu pasyanan natashana matnyanche chankata. Iti Da betão, poga babalgão, budutikurutão, budutã beva, paltamanão, katam, purushwe, vyapadishyate, iti. Yatã, bijayahu, parajayo, pan, yoduturushu, paltamanahu, sivamini, vyapadishyate, sa, hi, tatpalasya, pokuteti, evam, panantamokusho, Panantamokusho, Buddha Beva, Paltamanao, Purushwe, Vyapadishyate, Sa, Hi, Tatapa. Tatapalasya, Pokuteti, double check it. Yeah. Buddha Tereva, Purushulta, Parisama, Pati Pananta, Siddhartha. Basayo. Double check this character. Yep. Purushulta parisama putilbanan tasutadalta basayo mokusho iti. Etena grahana thara noha pohatat devajinyana piniveshai. Grahana thara noha pohat. Grahana thara nopo. Grahana thara noha pohatatva. Grahana thara nopa. Grahana thara noha pohatatvaji. Grahana thara noha. Grahana thara noha pohatatvajinyana na pinivesha. Grahana thara noha pohatat. Grahana thara noha pohatatvajinyana pinivesha. Budutao paltamanaha. Purushwe tya ropita sadpavaha. Purushwetya ropita sadpavaha. Sa hi tatpalasya pokuteti. Okay. He tells what the object of sight itself is, with the disposition to brightness and to activity and to inertia, and with the elements and the organs as its essence, and with its purpose, the experience and the liberation, the object of sight. The Sattva has the disposition to brightness, the Rajas has the disposition to activity, the Tamas has the disposition to inertia. These aspects, with the separate parts influencing each other, with external aspects, in conjunction or in separation, with limitations in extent, brought about by basing them upon an interdependence of one upon another, with separate powers, although in subservience to each other, still unconfused, with confirmations according to various disparate and comparate powers, with their presence manifested at the time when they become dominant, with their existence, although subordinate to the dominant, yet from their functional activity inferred as included in the dominant, with their faculties employed as effective for the purposes of the self, with their aid given, like that of a magnet, from the mere fact of being near, following without any external cause after a fluctuation of any one of themselves. These aspects are denoted by the word primary cause, and this is called the object of sight. The same object of sight enters into mutation as elements and as organs. As elements such as earth and the others in coarse and in subtle, it enters likewise into mutation as organs such as the organ of hearing. But it is not without an impelling force. On the contrary, it acts only by accepting an impelling force. For the object of sight exists for the sake of the experience and the liberation of the self. Of these, experience is the ascertainment of things with desirable qualities and of things with undesirable qualities, so long as this does not divide. Liberation is the ascertainment of the enjoyer himself. Thus there is no other process of knowing in addition to these two, and in this sense it has been said, but he who in the three aspects, which are agents, and in the self which is not an agent, but which is of the same kind in some respects, and of a different kind in other respects, sees all the produced states presented to the fourth, the witness of their action. He has no suspicion that there is another kind of knowledge. How is it that these two, experience and liberation, made by the thinking substance and existing in the thinking substance only, are attributed to the self? Just as a victory or a defeat on the part of actual fighters is ascribed to their commander, for he, as we know, is the experiencer of the result, so bondage and release, existing in the thinking substance only, are ascribed to the self. For he, as we know, has the experience of the results of these. Bondage is of the thinking substance only, and is the failure to attain the purposes of the self. Release is the termination of the purpose of the self. Thus it is that processes of knowing and processes of retention and comprehensions of particulars, and removals of faults, and real knowledge and the will to live, existing in the thinking substance, are assumed to exist in the self, for he, as we know, has the experience of the results of these. Now I'm contemplating whether I should do Bhagavad Gita or just end it here. It'll be 30 more minutes if I do Bhagavad Gita. I kind of want to do it because I'm using my cough medicine, and I should use the hell out of it. This thing always goes down. Why is that? Okay, so we take a quick break. Yeah, Bhagavad Gita is only 24 verses long. I could do it within 10 minutes. Because I read it so many times. It's really fun, man. And it's spread apart, like 17 chapters. So you come back to it about 2.5 weeks later, 3 weeks later. Okay. So today is 16, tomorrow 17, and last chapter once again is 18. Namaste. Atha Shodashotyayaha Daiva Sura Samanpadvi Daiva Sura Samanpadvi Padavipaga Daiva Sura Samanpadvi Daiva Sura Samanpadvi Paga Yogaha Shri Bhagavan Uvacha 아파얌 사뜨뜨바 삼슈드 틸지냐나 요가비아바스티티흐 다남 다마시짱 야지냐시짱 스바티아 야스따빠 알자바무 아힘사 사티아 마쿠로 타스티아 가흐 샤는띠라 바이슈나무 샤는띠라 바이슈나무 다야 푸테시바 로르부트밤 푸테시바 로르부트밤 말다밤 흐리라자 발라무 데자흐 구셔말 트르티흐 샤우자마드로호 나티마니딸 파바는띠 삼바다 사문바담 다이비 마피자 다시야 파라따 남은포 달포 피마 나시자 그로타흐 바루시오메바자 아지냐남 자피자 다시야 발타 사문바다마 수리무 다이비 사문바드비 모쿠쇼야 니바는 타야 수리 마딸 말 슈자흐 사문바담 다이비 마피자 또시 빠는 더바 드바우 푸타 살가우 로케스미는 다이바 아수라 에바자 다이보 비스타라샤흐 브로크타 아수람 빵알타 메 셔르누 브라브르드 팀자 니브르드 팀자 자날 나 비두라 수라흐 나 샤오짬 나 비자자로 나 사티암 테슈 비디아테 아사티아 삼프라티시탐 테 자가다 후라니 쉐바라무 아빠라스 빠라사문 푸담 기마니아트까마 하이투까무 기마니아까마 하이투까무 에땀 드르셔투이마 바셔터피아 드르셔투이마 바셔터피아 나셔터드마 노를빠 부드타야흐 나셔터드마 노를빠 부드타야흐 브라파바는 띠우그라 깔마너흐 구셔야야 자가토히타흐 까마마 시리티암 두시푸람 담은파마나마다는 비타흐 모하드그르히 드바 사드그라 하는 빠라발타는 때 슈치 빠라타흐 모하드그르히 드바 사드그라 하는 빠라발타는 때 슈치 빠라타흐 지는 따마 빠리메얌 자 브랄라야는 따무파 시리타흐 까모파 포가 빠라마 에따바디티 니시치타흐 아샤파샤샤타일 바드타흐 까마쿠로타 빠라야노흐 이 하는 때 까마포가 알타마니아 예나 알타 산짜야느 이다마디야 마야 라브타미맘 프라프시에 마노라타무 이다마스티 이다마피 메 바비시어티 보날타나무 아사오 마야 하타흐 샤투르 하니슈에 짜파라나피 이시바로 하마함 포기 시드토함 발라바는 수키 투요 피자나바 나스미 투요 피자나바 나스미 투요 피자나바 마스미 고누요스티 사드르쇼 마야 야쿠슈에 다시아미 모디슈에 이티아지냐나 비모히타흐 아네카치트 타비프라는 딸 무하자라 사마버르타흐 브라사크타흐 까마 포게슈 빠따는띠 나라케슈짜오 드마삼파비타 아뜨마 삼은파 비타흐 스타브타 타나마나는 타나마나마다는 비타흐 타나마나마다는 비타흐 야자는 때 나마야지냐 있을 때 담은 페나비티 담은 페나디피 비티 담은 페나비티 뿌바까무 아항은 가람 발람 달밤 까맘 꾸로탐자 삼시리따흐 마마뜨마 빠레데 빠라데 헤슈 마마뜨마 빠라데 헤슈 브라드 비션은 또 피아수 야까흐 따나함 드비셨다흐 구루라는 삼사레슈 나라 타마느 구슈이빠 미야자스라마슈파나 수리 시베바 구슈이빠 미야자스라마슈파나 슈리 구슈이빠 미야자스라마슈파나 수리 시베바 요니슈 수림 요니마 빠느날 무드 자는마니 마마프라 비아이바 까우는 때야 따또 야는 디아타맘 까띠무 드리비탐 나라카시에담 드바람 나샤나마 드마나흐 까마흐 그로타스타탈 로파스타스마 데타트드라얌 로파스타스마 데타트드라얌 디아자트 에따이 비무크타흐 까무는 때야 따모드바 라이스들이 빌나라흐 짜라티아트마나흐 지레야스타또 야티 바람 까띠무 야흐 샤스트라비티 무트스르지야 발타테 까마카라타흐 나 시데티마바 브노티 나 수캄 나 바람 까띠무 타스마 쯔차스트람 프라마놈 테 가리아 비아바스티타오 가리아 비아바스티타오 가리아 비아바스티타오 뭐뭐 가리아 비아바스티타오 지냐 드바 샤스드라 비타 노크담 깔마 깔투미하이 하시 따트사디티 시리마드 파가바드 기타 수바니샤트수 브라흐마 비디야얌 요가 샤스드레 시리 그르슈널 주나 삼바데 다이바 수라 사문바비 파가 요고 다이바 수라 사문바드 비파가 요고 나마 쇼더쇼 티아야흐 너마스트. The Holy Ones, fearlessness, purity of heart, perseverance in knowledge and yoga meditation, gifts, self-restraint, sacrifice, study of the Vedas, ascetic penances, uprightness, abstention from injury, truth, freedom from anger, renunciation, tranquility, freedom from reporting others' faults, compassion for all creatures, absence of covetousness, gentleness, modesty, absence of restlessness, vigor, forgiveness, firmness, cleanliness, absence of quarrelsomeness, freedom from vanity, these become his Oparata, who is born to godlike possessions. Hypocrisy, pride, conceit, wrath, rudeness, and ignorance are, O son of Brata, his who is born to demoniac possessions. Godlike possessions are deemed to be fit for deliverance, the demoniac for bondage. Grieve not, O son of Bandua, for thou art born to godlike possessions. Two kinds of created beings in this world, viz. The godlike and the demoniac. The godlike have been described at length. Hear now from me, O son of Britain, about the demoniac. Persons of demoniac natures know not inclination or disinclination. Neither purity nor good conduct nor truth exists in them. They say that the universe is void of truth, of guiding principle, of ruler, produced by the union with one another, of one another. from lust and nothing else. Depending on this view, these men of lost selves, little intelligence, and fierce deeds, these enemies, are born for the destruction of the universe, cherishing desires that are insatiable, and endued with hypocrisy, conceit, and folly. They adopt false notions to delusion and engage in unholy practices, cherishing boundless thoughts limited by death, and regarding the enjoyment of desires as the highest end. They are persuaded that that is all. Fettered by the hundred nooses of hope, addicted to lust and wrath, they covet to obtain unfairly hordes of wealth for the gratification of their desires. This hath been obtained by me today. This wish I will obtain. This wealth I have. This will be mine in addition. This foe hath been slain by me. I will slay even others. I am Lord, I am the enjoyer, I am successful, powerful, happy. I am rich and of noble birth. Who else is there that is like me? I will sacrifice, I will make gifts. I will be merry, thus deluded by ignorance, tossed about by numerous thoughts, enveloped by the meshes of delusion, attached to the enjoyment of the objects of sense. Enjoyment of objects of desire, they sink into foul hell. Self-conceited, stubborn, filled with the pride and intoxication of wealth, they perform sacrifices that are nominally so, with hypocrisy and against the ordinance. Wedded to vanity, power, pride, lust, and wrath, these revilers hate me in their own bodies and those of others. These haters, cruel, the vilest among men, and unholy, I hurl continually down into demoniac wombs. Coming into demoniac wombs, deluded birth after birth, they, O son of Kunti, without attaining to me, go down to the vilest state. Threefold is the way to hell. Ruinous to the self is lust, wrath, likewise avarice. Therefore these three one should renounce. Freed from these three gates of darkness, a man, O son of Kunti, works out his own welfare, and then repairs to the highest goal. He who, abandoning the ordinances of the scripture, acts only under the impulses of desire, never attains to perfection, nor happiness, nor the highest goal. Therefore the scriptures should be thy authority in determining what should be done and what should not be done. It behoveth thee to do work here, having ascertained what hath been declared by the ordinances of the scriptures. Okay, so I'm gonna stop here. I will upload this video. Just notice that, the stream is missing like 3/4 of the entire video. Thank you very much. Namaste.